And this is a syllabus review of English 122, Section 801. It's an online course for Edison State Community College. This is your instructor, Brian Longang. This will be a syllabus review in a 4-part video. I'd like to try to keep these videos short, so I will have them all posted so you can just get to the information you want rather than trying to sit through a 12 to 15 minute video all at once. This part will be covering the general policies and the assignments of Composition 2, the online course. So some various things to point out on the syllabus is that my office hours, I will be physically in class at the Pickle campus, are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 12. You can also meet with me online anytime via the any sort of web conference tool, and we can work that out or just talk by phone, but please set that up by appointment. My office number is room 216, second floor of the West Hall. My office number is 7926. You can reach me on my mobile phone at 216-3653. If you call me, please leave a message. You are welcome to text me, but please let me know your name and that you're in my online class. Preferred method of contact is email because it does create a record of that, and I can always search that much easier than I can text messages or phone calls. Required items, we have 4 books that we'll be using. We have the Word on College Reading and Writing, the same textbook that you should have used in Composition 1. It is a free online textbook, so you'll be able to access that, and I'll post links for those in Blackboard. The Little Seagull Handbook, 3rd edition. It doesn't matter if you have the one with exercises or not, but we will be using it. I will have things that refer to it. So I do hope you're able to get that. You'll have to purchase that in the bookstore or through an online bookseller or somebody else's. We have a Critical Thinking Handbook. This is a free text that was created many years ago by the department. It's a little outdated in terms of some book references. However, the content in it is still good. And then finally, we have our Common Read textbook, which is Where Am I Giving by Kelsey Timmerman. It is available through the bookstore or through purchase through online booksellers like Amazon.com. You can also download it for Kindle or listen to it, I believe, on Audible. So there are various options. We'll be reading this over the course of about 6 weeks to give you time to actually read it. From the syllabus, we have prerequisites. You should have been taking English 121. You should be able to type fairly well, I would hope. In addition, we have our Edison State Community College core values of communication skills, critical thinking, diversity, ethics, inquiry, respect for learning, interpersonal skills, and teamwork. We will be touching on all 6 of these throughout the course. So if you're wondering why we're doing something, it's partly because of the core values or our general education outcomes. We also have course goals, and rather than read each of these to you, I will allow you to read them on your own, but I will just briefly explain them. Basically, the idea is that we're going to try to achieve all 8 of these. When you are done with this class, you should have some familiarity or ability to accomplish each of these 8 goals through the variety of coursework that we are doing. And then, general statement of the course. This is designed to give students practice in the use of formal research and logic to make you more comfortable using analysis and critical thinking in your writing. It is thus a reading and writing course, and it will be useful and applied to other courses. With our foundation for Composition 1, you should be ready for some more rigorous assignments. I don't know if that's really what you want to do or not, but many times students want to make arguments in Comp 1, but that is not the place for it. This course is where we will be doing argumentation. So instead of writing a single critique of a single essay, you'll be comparing essays arguing different sides of an issue, and you will also review a book, which is Where Am I Giving? Instead of doing a few essays requiring primary and periodical research, you will write a long research paper requiring extensive primary and secondary research. While writings will vary in length, they generally have essays about 1,000 to 1,500 words long. I'll explain the main research paper that we're doing, which is a combined research paper, argument paper, and all sorts of fun stuff. I think it's a good exercise for you. It might be something similar to what you've done in a senior high school level English class. Some of you do research projects there where you make an argument. It'll be similar to that, and it'll be hopefully an interesting and enjoyable and informative process for you. You'll continue your analysis of essays and excerpts from books, deepen and broaden your study of logic and argument, and you'll be making an oral presentation to the class. This is an online class, so it'll be a recorded presentation that will be viewed and shared for the course, and that'll be at the end. Then we have a capstone assignment, which is where you exercise creativity in producing your works, which ties together textbook reading, writing, research, and knowledge of argument. So we'll talk about that. Some other major policies. This is a reading, writing, and research and argument course. It gives you practice in writing 4 forms of writing: reviews, research reports, editorials, and research argument, which we'll call a capstone. There'll be weekly writing exercises and responses to reading. We'll be reading a lot of various things. The goal of reading is to provide you with essays on culture, logic, and argument. You might like or agree with some of these essays, and that's okay, and you might not, and that's okay too. In fact, a strong but open opinion is crucial for doing well in this course, meaning you don't have to agree with every single thing in order to do well in the course, but when you do disagree, you need to know why, and you need to provide significant counterpoints. Similarly, when you agree with something, you have to be able to explain why you agree. Just because we read an essay doesn't make it absolute truth. It's up to readers to make the judgment. And so now we get to the main assignments, and after that I will conclude this video. So we'll be doing daily writing. This discussion board will have about 2 to 4 discussion postings a week. I don't think I have more than 4 ever. I don't even think I have 4. I think it's usually 3. But that'll allow us to share ideas with the class and provide a space to write. You'll need to have about 1,000 characters long for each discussion post, and you'll receive credit for posting your work. Your writing will not be graded in the terms of traditional writing, so you're free to make errors and typos and write in incomplete sentences. I'm more interested in your ideas and whether or not you are answering the questions. You will not receive credit for late discussion board postings because they are timely. I will have due dates. Those will be posted a week in advance to allow you to plan for it. Let's see. Summaries. There will be summaries throughout our course. I do it for 2 reasons. Mainly, it's to ensure that you are doing the writing, but also are doing the reading, but also to ensure that you understand it. So as we read our common read book, the Where Am I Giving, you'll be posting summaries of that, which will also help you with your book review. In addition, we'll be doing several readings from outside sources, and I'll ask for you to summarize those. Summaries are only about 150 words. I say they're due at the beginning of class, but they'll be due on specific dates, and you'll receive credit for posting the summaries. Summaries must include an MLA works cited entry for the reading. That is good because you need to learn to practice that. Any summary submitted with a timestamp past the due date will not receive credit, so please be aware of that. We'll have 5 journals that you'll be writing. These are extended writing assignments and in place of a discussion board posting that might build off a discussion board post. It's focused on a single question that asks for some development in your thinking and writing process. I'll be using these to help you with formulating your ideas. Since I can't sit down and talk with you during class or after class about your ideas or what you're writing for your paper, these journals will help focus you. And then we have our major assignments. Most of our assignments all of our assignments will need to be MLA formatting. We'll talk about that later on. They will be submitted by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the end of the day, through Turnitin. Turnitin is usually based on Pacific Time, not Eastern Time, so some of your messages will not display the correct time, so just be aware of that. I try to be flexible. Failure to submit any of these major assignments for grading by the deadlines will result in a failure for the course, regardless of your actual grade, meaning you can't just blow off an assignment and expect to pass. You have to have all of these assignments in. And I will describe these assignments real quick, and then I will conclude the video. The book review, that's our first one that we're working on. We are writing a review of Where Am I Giving? Everyone in Composition 2 is reading this book. The assignment will be 1,000 to 1,500 words long. Then we have our research project. This is the bulk of the course. You will select a topic based on the study for the remainder of the course. The goal is to create a single long paper that summarizes the topic, analyzes the literature and debate on the topics, reports information, and creates a clear call for action. That's your argument. All information will need to be supported through research. The final paper will be constructed in sections not overt. I'm sorry about that typo. Let me delete that. Over the course of the semester. It'll be about 4,000 words long with 10 to 15 credible sources. This paper will be using MLA formatting. Your paper will consist of the following section headings. I'll stop right here for a second. I know it sounds really daunting to say 4,000 words, but you are required to write 5,000 words of graded writing in Composition 1 and Composition 2, 5,000 words each course. So we're just breaking this down into assignments that you'll be turning in throughout the semester as we build this paper. It's not all of a sudden, hey, 4,000 words is due next week. It is built up. So the first thing we'll do is an overview of the issue. This is similar to what you'll be doing if you're writing a longer research paper for a higher level course. So usually there is an overview. It's 500 words, summary of the topic, explaining the issue, the arguments surrounding the issue, the focus of your paper that leads to your call to action. Basically, something has to be done. Then you'll have a review of literature. This is basically a list of all the major works that you'll be using for your sources and for your research. It basically proves that you are well-versed and knowledgeable about your topic. You'll provide some brief summaries of the work, short criticism of the author's points. So it doesn't have to be all 10 to 15 sources. You could do a review of literature that really details 5 or 6 sources and explains their strengths and weaknesses, and then a brief summary of the various sources. If you've ever done an annotated bibliography, this would be along the lines of that. For me, this replaces the methodology portion of a research paper or a study. If you look at studies online, you'll see that they'll always talk about their goal, the methodology, how they did this study, and then analyze the results. We have an editorial analysis, which you'll look at 2 opposing opinion pieces about your topic and analyze those arguments. This will be actually very helpful in formulating what you think should be done about the topic. By reading these different articles and editorials, you'll be better versed in those arguments. So analyzing the strengths and weaknesses, the pros and cons of your topic forces you to actually deal with them. And then there's a research portion where you're going to do about 1,000 words that has detailed research that provides information, elucidates, makes them clearer about the arguments and the focus of your topic. Research will support and lead to your call to action. And then finally, we have your call to action. Now that you've done all this other work, we know what it is. You get to tell us what we should do about your topic. You will write 800 to 1,000 words expressing a specific call to action. There's a lot of typos in this. I'm very sorry about that. For your readers. This call to action will be detailed and prescriptive using references from the research. So you have to prove why this is the best course of action. You have to acknowledge the opposition and basically say, well, here's why people don't think this should be done, but this is why they are wrong, or this will address their concerns more likely is what we want to actually do, because you just can't say they're wrong and screw them. We have to acknowledge that, okay, well, people disagree with me. Here's how we convince them. We'll be doing a peer review process for these individual sections and have short conferences. Last 2 things are presentation. You'll present your argument and call to action. In an oral presentation, we'll talk about the various things that we can do. And those presentations will be posted in the discussion board. You'll need to be in a video format with a camera or as a screencast. I am currently doing a screencast. And you will watch 10 presentations and respond to 5 in detail. So we have 60 people in this course. Typical composition course is 18 students maximum. If you were taking this in person, if it's online, it'd be 15, and you'd have to sit through all 18 presentations. So I'm only asking you to watch 10 of your classmates' presentations and respond to 5, which is significantly less work than a face-to-face class. So I hope you'll recognize that when it comes down to it towards the end of the semester, but you'll probably have forgotten, and that's okay. Finally, the capstone. Your final writing assignment is a capstone paper. It's your opportunity to respond to criticism, refine your position, and reflect on your work. Your capstone writing will include a 500 to 800 word explanation of your presentation and reflection. The basic idea of this capstone is not to provide you new work, but to allow you to put the finishing touches, because we all know that we can turn in something and say, oh, if I only had more time, I would have done this, or maybe somebody will provide us a viewpoint that we hadn't thought of. That's why we share our work, to continue this greater conversation of our topic. And so this capstone will allow you to address questions and criticisms from me and your classmates, reflect on the work you've done, explain things that you could have done better, or realize now you should have changed. And so that is the idea of the capstone. So that is the general overview and our assignments.